do that, right? Trying to add humor to their speech. What advice would you give?
For me personally, is trying to put ourselves a little bit more in the shoes of the audience. Oftentimes, when we try to write a humor, we write it for ourselves. We find it funny, we find it humorous, and we try too hard. So what I did was in the first few draft, it was more about being a little bit more critical. So I would record my own speech and I would listen to it over and over again, and I put myself in the shoe of an evaluator. Uh, was this punchline impactful? How was the payoff? How was the build up? Did it take too long for the audience to understand what I was trying to deliver? So these are some of the things that I was looking at, and I think along the way we'll find ways that makes us more comfortable in terms of the tempo, in terms of the rhythm as well. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have people joining us already. This is Dr. Minal Siha. Just saying hello to Oluwaleke and
Oh,
then awesome topics and conversation. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you for
thank
being
you,
here.
sir.
Yeah. Please, if you have a question for our guests, please put in the chat and also tell us where you're joining us from and what you're trying to get from this conversation. Yes. Thank you so much. So now that we're on the subject of humor, I was listening to your workshop and you said something that was very interesting to me as a person.
Mhm.
It says humorous speech is a well-structured speech with economical setup, consistent payoff, and moral to bring home. And you were trying to make a distinction between stand-up comedy and humorous speech. I really enjoyed that. And in addition to all that, you also mentioned you saw a slide of some comedians on this on the slide. I think Russell Peters were there, and
Yep.
Trevor Noah, Kevin Arts, and
Yep.
one other person was also on that slide. My question is, what do you think all those people have in common? And I must almost assume that you watch them, right? And when you watch their delivery, what do you think they have that make them distinct from others? What are you looking for to see? For example, when you're looking at Russell Peters, Fluffy, yeah, Fluffy's also. I think you said Fluffy was your favorite there in that.
Yep.
So when you're looking at Fluffy, what are you trying to open to see? When you look at Trevor Noah, what are you open to see? That kind of.
So my first few comedian that I watched was Russell Peters, was Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy.
Yeah.
I watched both of them very, very close. Michael McIntyre was someone that I watched later on, and Trevor Noah was even later stage as well.
Mhm.
What I've learned in the earlier years was that they know what material works for them. Like they know what materials would be very sensitive, that may have some cultural context, something that you could deliver, and some people may not be able to deliver the same. For example, if I were to deliver about my culture, I would be the right person to deliver it because I am part of the culture and I am not trying to insult someone else. So you got to understand where you come from. So that was a lot from Russell Peters during the earlier days. Then I move on to Fluffy because he's just so lovable. He's so likable. There is no way you can dislike him, even without him saying much. His presence is very welcoming, and I thought to myself, will I be able to come to that stage, to come to that level of attractiveness? And I don't think I could. And what makes Fluffy special was also because his ability to make a lot of sound effect. And ask myself, is
Yeah.
this something I could do? And the answer was no. So then I try and observe. He usually have a very distinctive facial expression, especially when it comes to certain punchline that he wants to deliver. And his timing is very on point. You didn't have to wait too long, and it wouldn't be hard for you to understand what he was trying to bring across. Michael McIntyre was very intelligent. He carried himself very, very well. Same with Trevor Noah as well. And the more I listen, the more I understand that there is a difference between a stand-up comedian and a humor speech. Both you're trying to entertain someone, but both also have something that we could share with each other as well. And I think I am quite fortunate because just within our community, we have a Toastmasters in Brunei who eventually become a stand-up comedian in our country as well. And having him perform at different places and sharing his experience definitely helped. So that gave an deeper understanding for myself on this particular topic. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in it, but I try to find something that works for me. For example, misdirection is something that works very well for me. Callback is something that works very well for me. What won't work well for me would be like slapstick. Um, Sarcasms would be something that wouldn't work well for me because I don't carry that. I'm not witty enough on that as well. And observation would be definitely a strength for myself because in my day-to-day life, I have a very lovely wife and have two children who would always ask me a lot of impromptu questions that I need to think quick. So I would say a lot of training came from them.
Good, good, good. Thank you for sharing that. That's really powerful. And one of the things that I also like from your workshop is that you introduce pauses. I think your structure introduce pause at the beginning and pauses at the end. And I all really understand that pauses are very important because what's the essence of saying something funny and giving your audience the opportunity to react to what you're
Mhm.
saying.